What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me. Today, we're going to go over the basics of how to squat, okay? Just the general mechanics and where your weight balance should be. All right, so as you can see, I have no shoes on, just so I can kind of show you exactly where my weight distribution is. So the first thing I want to address is the fact that there is no perfect or right squat stance, okay? It really is whatever is comfortable for you based on your height, your different mobility levels, okay? But just a general rule of thumb is that you want to set up roughly how I am. So feet just a little bit wider than shoulder width. And you want those toes to be out just a little bit, okay? So this is straight ahead, just a little bit outwards, okay? Let's not over exaggerate it and go like that, all right? The reason being is that the toes being out is going to force your butt, your glutes to work a little bit more, okay? Now, when I squat and I demo this, hopefully you can see it, and I'll try to do some angles from the side as well, is you're going to see that my toes are up off the ground, okay? So there is zero contact with my toes on the ground. You can if you'd like, but really what I'm trying to get at is the fact that you should not be pushing off your toes at all, okay? You want about half your weight to be on the balls of your feet and about half your weight to be in the heels, okay? Twinkle your toes, curl your toes, do whatever it is you gotta do as long as you don't push off of them, okay? So we're set up in our good stance. Now we know exactly where our weight balance should be. The next step that you wanna take is, all right, how do I go down into this motion? What you want to think about is trying to sit between your knees, push your butt back and down, okay? So push your butt back, okay? Now we're going to start to go down towards the ground. Notice my toes are still off the ground, okay? On the way down is really just your hamstrings activating. As you stand up, it's quads and glutes. That's what's going to make you stand up nice and tall, okay? So like I said, we're just going with the basics here. So I'm just going to say you want to go quads down to parallel. So these parallel to the ground. And you want to make sure that you squeeze your butt at the top to make yourself nice and tall, okay? So we don't want just this half motion here where your butt stays back. Now, the next thing we want to talk about is breathing, okay? So when you go down into your squat, on the down motion, you want to inhale through your nose. So suck in the air. Once you hit the bottom, exhale out. So you think about blowing yourself right up, okay? Now, if we backtrack real quick, just so you kind of know the reasoning behind this, you don't want to fall to your toes when you squat. Then you're going to get a lot of knee issues, a lot of knee pain, okay? And that's what I hear a lot is people don't want to squat, they don't want to lunge because it bothers their knees. If we can simply fix their mechanics and get them to put their weight more back in the heels, it's going to take a lot of the pressure off the knees, okay? So this is good. Okay, this would be bad. See how my knees are so far over my toes, my heels are off the ground. Okay, so now that we have this frontal view, you're learning everything about a squat right now, right? All right, and we have that toes slightly outward. You want those knees to mirror the toes. See how my knees get pushed out, okay? You don't want them to cave in as you go. That's a little bit of an imbalance in the glutes, and that's where a lot of ACL tears actually come from. So the knees being out, they travel right over the toes. That's going to force the glutes to activate and work. That's the thickest, most powerful muscle in your lower body. You want to really get it to work, all right? So you have the rough basics of how to do it, and there's nothing better than just practice. You just got to practice it, all right? Hold on to something to get that weight balance, that weight distribution proper. There's a lot of core activation that's going on here, okay? So now I'm going to show you, so now you've aced this. You know exactly how to do a squat. What if you want to make it a little more challenging, okay? So we're going to hold a little kettlebell, or I'm going to hold a little kettlebell. There's no proper way to hold the kettlebell. There's a lot of different ways. I like to hold it like so. So I stick my thumbs right through, and then the bell just kind of sits in the palm of my hand. That way, if I lose my grip, I get sweaty, it gets heavy. I don't just drop it on my toes. It just kind of sits in the webbing, okay? It's called a goblet squat. Okay, so not only are we loading our lower body, but we're loading our belly a lot more. So we're building trunk strength. So hold it in nice and tight to your chest. Okay, as you can see, I'm hugging it right up against. It's not out in front, and my elbows are in. So as I go down into my squat, you're going to notice that my elbows stay on the inside of my knees. Okay, that's very important because that's what activates your belly. If these elbows are out, okay, now it's my shoulders that are taking the brunt of this weight, whereas I want to make the most bang for my buck for this exercise, so I'm going to force this to be nice and tight, okay? So here's a little side view. Inhale through the nose, elbows inside the knees. Exhale as you come up. You want to think about a 2-second down and a 1-second up. So slow going down and explode right up. All right, one more. In through nose, exhale up. And the last thing I just want to cover, because how can I not, is the upper torso, okay? What that's going to look like, the angle. So when you squat, you want to be upright as much as possible. As you can see, I can't be completely upright, but you do want to maintain, okay, shoulders, knees over toes, okay? So you're right here. What we don't want to see is this, okay? You don't want the weight to pull you down. That's going to cause a lot of lower back issues, your back rounds, okay? So try to keep that chest up as much as possible. And this may be a big benefit or the biggest aid as far as that goes. Reason being is that there's more weight in front of you, acts as a counterbalance. So now you're going to be able to sit deeper into your squat and keep your chest up because you have more weight in front of you that you're balancing it, okay? Exhale up. So I know that's a lot to remember, but feel free to keep watching this video until you nail it. Feel free to reach out to me if you want some more advice. Like I said, this very first thing in this video is there's no perfect squat form. It's whatever's comfortable for you. So if you want to open up to a little bit wider stance or a little bit narrower stance, bring your toes in just a little bit, whatever is comfortable for you, okay? That's just a general rule of thumb of how I teach a squat and the proper mechanics as to keep the pressure off the knees, so to say. All right. So good luck, guys. Hit the like button if you enjoyed.